Everything you see around you, from the phone in your hand to the cars on the road, has one thing in common. Oil plays a massive role behind it. But have you ever stopped to think about where the gasoline or diesel we use actually comes from? Out there on the endless blue ocean, you might only see a giant metal structure standing still above the water. But the real story lies 3 kilometers below it, where a man-made industrial system works 24 hours a day. In today's video, we're going deep to see how oil is brought up from beneath the ocean floor while ignoring the crushing pressure of millions of tons of water above it. Let's dive in. You don't just drill randomly into the seabed and strike oil. It takes serious planning, and that planning starts with seismic surveys. Special ships send powerful sound waves down into the ocean floor. These shock waves travel thousands of feet underground, bounce off different rock layers, and return to the surface. Sensors record those returning waves and send the data to supercomputers. Geologists then analyze the data and create a full 3D map of what lies beneath the seabed, identifying rock layers and potential oil and gas reservoirs. Without digging a single hole, they can see several kilometers underground using sound alone. Once oil is confirmed, massive infrastructure is installed, what we call a rig. The type of rig depends on the depth of the water. In relatively shallow water, jack-up rigs are used. Their giant legs are lowered and fixed directly into the seabed. In deeper water, semi-submersible rigs are used. These float on massive pontoons and are anchored securely so that even powerful waves can't move them an inch. And in extremely deep water, drill ships are used. These look like large ships, but on top, they carry drilling equipment, living quarters for workers, a helipad, control rooms, almost like a small floating city. Using GPS and advanced propulsion systems, they can stay precisely positioned above the drilling site even in rough seas. Building these structures costs billions of dollars. After mapping and positioning, the most dangerous phase begins: drilling. Long drill pipes are connected section by section and lowered to the ocean floor. At the end is a drill bit fitted with carbide teeth capable of cutting through extremely hard rock. But oil reservoirs deep underground are under intense pressure. To prevent sudden blowouts, a special drilling mud is pumped down through the pipe. This heavy fluid cools the drill bit and balances underground pressure with its weight. The most critical safety device is the blowout preventer, or BOP. If pressure control is lost for any reason, it can instantly seal the well. Once drilling is complete, the drill pipe is removed, and a device called a Christmas tree is installed permanently on the wellhead at the seafloor. Its job is to control the flow of oil. If there's any issue above or pressure builds in the pipeline, the Christmas tree can remotely shut off or regulate the flow. Without it, controlling oil flow thousands of feet underwater would be impossible. At those depths, water pressure is strong enough to crush a car in seconds. Temperatures are near freezing. So, how are these complex systems installed and maintained? With remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs. These are powerful underwater robots controlled from the surface through cables. Equipped with high-definition cameras and robotic arms, they handle everything from changing drill bits to repairing pipelines and performing delicate work on the Christmas tree. After extraction, safely transporting the oil to shore is another major challenge. Subsea pipelines stretch for miles along the ocean floor. These pipelines are built to withstand strong currents and corrosive saltwater for years. If the oil field is far from shore, floating production storage and offloading vessels, or FPSOs, are used. They look like massive oil tankers, but function as floating factories. They process and store oil from underwater wells, then transfer it to shuttle tankers that carry it to refineries. The entire process carries serious risks. The high pressure of oil and gas beneath the seabed can turn a rig into a fireball in seconds if something goes wrong. History has shown that a single mistake can cause fires that burn for months, destroying marine ecosystems. Oil spills are equally dangerous, severely damaging ocean life and the environment.
That's why safety systems on rigs cost enormous amounts, sometimes more than the annual budget of small countries. Offshore oil extraction is not a simple task. It's a massive and extremely expensive operation. Building a single platform can cost between $1 and $5 billion. Keeping it running costs hundreds of thousands of dollars per day. So, why spend that kind of money? Because a large oil field can produce hundreds of thousands of barrels per day, fuel that powers global economies. Behind this massive industry are thousands of workers, engineers, technicians, chefs, robot operators, working 24-hour shifts, because shutting down even once can mean millions of dollars in losses. Now let's talk about which countries lead in offshore oil production. Only a few nations have the technology and capability to dominate this field. At the top is Saudi Arabia, with vast oil fields in the shallow waters of the Persian Gulf. Next is the United States, especially in the Gulf of Mexico, one of the busiest and most technologically advanced offshore drilling regions in the world. When it comes to ultra-deepwater drilling, Brazil leads the way. They extract oil from beneath thick salt layers several kilometers under the ocean floor. In the North Sea, Norway and the United Kingdom operate in harsh weather conditions using advanced technology. In Africa, Angola and Nigeria are major offshore producers. In Asia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and China are rapidly increasing production. And then there's Venezuela. With around 303 billion barrels of oil reserves, it holds the largest proven reserves in the world, even more than Saudi Arabia or Iran. Yet, despite that, Venezuela produces far less oil due to political instability, international sanctions, and lack of investment and advanced technology. While countries like Saudi Arabia and the United States produce 10 million barrels per day, Venezuela produces only around 900,000 to 1 million barrels daily, holding a small share of the global market despite its massive reserves. We may not realize it, but more than half the products we use from morning to night depend in some way on oil. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments, and if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel.